Well, you know it's getting old. The weather. It's spring out here. It's snowing again. And I don't know, we just can't kick it. We can't get rid of this white stuff. Hopefully before long it's gone, but in the meantime, we're heading into the shop today, as you saw a few minutes ago. I've got some things I gotta fix, and we're starting right here. Now it's a bit of a mess in here. I've had a few projects on the go. Let's slide around to the right. You guys can see, first and foremost, that's the tractor hood. The tractor hood is there because we are working on the tractor. I've been talking to a lot of you guys over the last little while. You guys have been giving me some ideas as to what's wrong with my tractor. As you saw, it will start, but it doesn't start easily. So that's where we're at today. Now, here's what I've done up till this point. Besides talking to you guys, picking various people's brain to get the best solution possible, I have checked a few things in the cab already. And if we have a look right here, I've been in here to check fuses. All right, none of those fuses are blown. And I've also been up here and have a look down there. Nope, down there. Little fuse panel here. I've been in there checking things. Everything is intact fuse-wise. Now, I wanted to start there just in case it was something simple. I was hoping it was going to be something simple, but it's not. So here's where we're headed to next. We are looking at the glow plugs today. We're also looking at a relay. Let's jump up here real quick. I've started getting stuff ready to go. So here's the engine. I have never been in here for anything of significance, hence why it's real dusty. But what we're going to do, if you look down there, you see where my light's shining? You see the very top, and I'll have to point with my fingers. I don't know how well this is going to work. If you see the very top of that right there, that's a glow plug. There's 4 of them in there. So there's one that my light's pointing at. If you look over in that direction, there's another one. And another one way up in there. And then there's one under here. So those 4 glow plugs are going to be dealt with today. We're going to test them. And if you have a look right here where I've wiped off the dust, that's a relay that controls the glow plugs. At least I think it is. So we're going to figure out whether it's that is the issue or the glow plugs. Wish me luck. I have not dealt with glow plugs before. And so I had to do a little bit of research, as I said, talking to you guys. Hopefully this goes smoothly. Hopefully we get a solution. And hopefully this tractor is back out of the shop before long. Here we go. So what we're going to be doing here today, dealing with the glow plugs first. There's a connection between all 4 glow plugs. We're going to take that top connection off. That way each of the glow plugs are separate. Then I'm going to use my multimeter. We're going to check for resistance, and depending on what that reading is, that'll give me a good indication whether the glow plug might be faulty, I hope. After that, we're going to do a little bit of a spark test. So I'm going to take a wire, this wire right here. We're going to hook one end up to the positive terminal on the battery. The other end, I'm going to go up to the top of each glow plug, and I'm going to check for a spark. If there is no spark, that is bad. That means that glow plug probably needs to be replaced. If there is spark, well, that means there's hope. We'll see. That relay, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. That might end up getting replaced at the same time if I have to replace glow plugs. I don't know what I'm going to do there. I got to talk to the Kioti dealer just a little bit. I'm not exactly sure how I can test that. I'll check out the price of the part and we'll go from there. Maybe it fails regularly. I don't know. That's where we're at. So wish me luck. Here we go. Gotcha. Success. I can't even see this one. Where are you? Oh no. I'm actually looking at the camera, the viewfinder, so I can see down in there. I can't get my head down in there to see. This might be an episode. There. Yeah, that's not working. Okay. If you want to know what I'm doing, I left my my deep socket in this particular size out at my sawmill, and I'm not walking out there to get it right now, so we'll take the flexible elbow there, whatever you call it, and we'll stiffen it up with a little bit of tape. I suppose you don't have to be the smartest or the brightest, but as long as you're the most resourceful, you'll still get it done. You guys can probably see the top of the glow plugs there. See where my finger is? That's one of them there, right there. And then the other's obviously right behind it. There's two more down that way. It's the only shiny bit in there. And then the one that was challenging, probably took me a half hour to get out finally, was under there. I couldn't even see it at all. So now that they're exposed, I am going to test them. All right, guys, this next test is involving a wire that's hooked up to the positive terminal on the battery. I'm looking for spark. I do not have any spark there whatsoever. Being very careful here. That has spark. You guys see that? Check it out. Okay, so that one's probably good. Check that one out right there. Not a thing. I can't quite reach that other glow plug underneath here safely. And so I made this little wire here. It's got a little hook. I'm going to touch that on the top of the glow plug. This piece will stick out the top, and then I can touch that to my wire that's running off the positive terminal of my battery. I can just about see my glow plug there. And I really, really hope that this sparks, because that would indicate to me that this one's working, because I can't access this one very easily. You guys see down here? Watch for the spark. Let's hope. All right, you guys hear that? Love it. Okay, that one's sparking. That's a beautiful thing. Hey, success. Okay, that's the first one. The one I took out previously was the third one down, from the back that is. Those are the ones I think are bad. We're going to test them. Gotcha. Success. That's the fourth one I didn't think I was getting out. Alright guys, we're going to test these, the glow plugs that is, by hooking it up to a 12-volt battery. This 12-volt battery, I'm sure, is fully charged. I'm going to use these jumper cables here, and then we'll see if they glow. If they glow, well, I know that my test using the spark method and the wire wasn't very good. I'm hoping they don't glow, because then I feel confident that these are in fact the issue with the tractor. So I'm just watching the end there to see if it glows. If it glows, it'll go red hot. And I am not seeing anything happening here. Alright, let's try number 2. And I'm just looking to see if it glows. As I said before, it should be red hot. Alright, you guys have a look at this one. This is from the number 2 cylinder, as I'll call it. This one did spark with my little wire test, and so I am thinking this one should work. It should be still getting hot. We're going to find that out. If it does get hot, then I'm going to feel pretty confident in that wire test. If it doesn't get hot, then I think we're just going to replace them all. See how hot that's getting? Okay, so that obviously works. Alright guys, this is the 4th glow plug. Let's get this thing in place here. And we'll see if it's going to glow. Oh yeah, that's going to glow. So, I guess I could have left it in there, but anyone knows how long until it fails. The other 2 failed, so we'll replace it. We got it out. Probably took me a good 15 minutes just to get this one out, but there it is. Get some parts, I guess, and put her in. Well guys, I was going to use my multimeter here to measure the resistance on each glow plug. I don't think my multimeter is working correctly, or at least it won't measure down to a small enough number of ohms as I need. I'm looking somewhere in the range of like 1 to 6 ohms, give or take. I just don't think this one will do it. So what I did, I just bypassed that test and I went to the spark test with the wire. I think that gives me some conclusive evidence, we'll say. At least enough for me to think that I better switch those 2 glow plugs. But I'm going to look at just a few other things before I do so, including that relay. I need to make sure that the relay is giving off power, 12 volts, so that that would in fact fire off the glow plugs. So let's give that a try and go from there. What I'm going to do this time around, I'm going to check the power coming from the wire that would hook up to all the glow plugs. That tells me that the power is going to the glow plugs, and the 2 glow plugs that I think are faulty are in fact the cause of my poor starting. So I'm going to set this up here. Okay, that's good. Make sure I got it hooked up as I should. Good there. And so if you look down here, you see this wire right here? Right there? That right there is the wire that would hook up to the glow plugs. And so what I'm going to end up having to do here is I'm going to end up having to hold this up a little bit. And we're going to take a reading. But obviously I need to turn the key so that the glow plug light would come on the dash, which means the glow plug timer would go on. And we'll measure the voltage. So I might actually be able to leave it like that, but I think I'll shim something underneath just to be safe. Just put that underneath for now. Got her hooked up. I'll put the multimeter. I don't know if you guys will be able to read that. We'll leave that right there. And we'll cycle it and we'll see what happens. Okay, good. So I don't know if you guys can see the readings here. Okay, 14.98, that should drop once that cycle of the glow plugs cuts off after that timer. See right there? See that massive drop? That was an indication that the glow plug cycle was done. so that's good. I was a little bit concerned. That to me would indicate it's probably not any of the electrical. It's probably just the glow plugs itself. All right, all 4 glow plugs are now back installed. I'm hoping in just a minute with the first startup, I'm gonna discover that that was in fact the issue. If I cycle the glow plugs and I try to start this thing and it still starts rough, I'm gonna be pretty disappointed, but I'm pretty confident here. I think that's the issue. So I just made a trip down to my local tractor dealership, my Kioti dealer. They hooked me up well with the 4 glow plugs. Fortunately, I have a good dealer and they stock those items, so I'm not having to wait to order them. And so the glow plugs went in without issue. So let's fire this thing up. Hope for the best. All right, there's the glow plug light. As soon as that goes out, we will fire it up. First start. Purrs like a kitten. That's the beautiful thing right there. That's exactly what I would expect from a tractor like this one. I've had great success with it over the years. It's been a strong runner. So that definitely makes me happy. Absolutely no white smoke there, no hesitation whatsoever. And so that's a beautiful thing. What more can I say? Well, I got to tell you guys, that is reassuring right there. In the back of my mind, I had that small hesitation, that small thought that what if it's not the glow plugs? What am I going to do next? Well, fortunately for me, it was the glow plugs. So all my sort of problem solving and talking to folks like you really paid off because we solved it. We got the tractor back up and running. This thing now just needs the hood put back on and I'll be back out into the woods. So just to back up a little bit, what led me to believe the glow plugs were the issue was as follows. The tractor, despite it starting really, really hard, it ran perfectly after it got started. And so for me, I thought, well, maybe then it's not the fuel issue. Because this fuel, not only do I have it in my tractor, but I also have it in the Mini X over there, and that Mini X ran good. The tractor also ran good, as I said, after it got started. And so I thought, you know what, maybe it's not the fuel, maybe it's going to be the glow plugs. And that's why I did those little tests on the glow plugs. I also checked the voltage on the electrical coming into the glow plugs. That all checked out. The glow plugs did not check out, and that's why I took them out, and that ended up being the problem. So fortunately for me, this is back in action. I really need this thing right now. With the snow starting to finally melt, I need to get out there with the bucket to clear some of my laneways because I'm starting to get some serious ruts out there. Not to mention I want to drag some more wood out to the wood splitter, so I'm going to get the tractor involved in that before long. Guys, I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions at all, make sure you ask down below in the comments. Once again, this tractor here, I don't know how many hours, but I'm probably floating around 1,500 hours. 2012 Kioti DK40se, obviously with the cab and the hydrostatic transmission. This thing has performed very, very well. This is the first time that I've had to dig in there aside from changing fluids. So I think that's pretty good. I'm sure it could be a lot worse. You guys all take care. Be well. I'll see you next time.